Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about the 11th house in astrology. Now, in astrology, the 11th house governs friends, acquaintances, groups, organizations, humanitarian endeavors, uh, even stepchildren. And what the 11th house is about too. It can be about how others perceive us as friends, as far as our natal chart goes, with the 11th house. So, for example, I think the first thing I look at the sign on the cusp of the 11th house in my natal chart. I have Aquarius on the 11th house cusp, which is the natural placement for it. So, 11th house Aquarius, for example, can indicate someone that may be seen as the universal friend, may come across to their friends as somebody that's selfless, that has humanitarian instincts. The person that has this placement may be perhaps connected with unusual friends, innovative, ingenious friends, friends that might be unorthodox. It could be friends that are interested in esoteric subjects such as astrology, uh, the occult, supernatural, perhaps even. It could be Aquarius on the 11th house cusp also can indicate perhaps that friendships may be somewhat erratic and sporadic. And I've noticed with a number of my friends that I'll know some of them for a few years and then they kind of dissipate into thin air. They move to another place. I don't hear from them anymore. So I think that can be typical of Aquarius on the 11th house cusp as an example. Another example, let's say somebody has Scorpio on the cusp of the 11th. This could indicate that perhaps this person may be attracted to friends, acquaintances that are connected with astrology, supernatural, the occult, maybe people that friends that might be somewhat mysterious or secretive, that might be interested in things connected with maybe solving mysteries, detective work, perhaps psychiatry, psychology. On the negative side, it could indicate that maybe this person might run into some friends that might be somewhat manipulative as well. So that's something on the negative side with that. Also, it's important to look at if you have any planets that inhabit your 11th house, as this can flavor the house. Now, let's say that, for example, if somebody has Saturn in their 11th house, well, this could indicate that maybe the person is connected with more mature friends, friends that are older, perhaps. It can indicate some kind of maybe restriction or limitations as far as their friends, acquaintances may go. It could all, since the 11th house is also associated with one's goals and aspirations, it could also indicate that this person might be very disciplined in these matters, very methodical, and could also indicate that this person may work very laboriously in matters connected with these things. So another thing to look at is see where the ruler of your 11th house is located, as far as what house it's in, because this could indicate, as far as the house goes, where this energy or this sector of life, where this energy is deposited into. Now, let's say, like in my case, for example, I have the ruler of my 11th house is located in my 6th house. Now, in my younger years, I used to work out fairly religiously, and I was very persistent with that. And I have it in my 6th house. The 6th house is connected with health, so it's no surprise that my 11th house being connected with goals and aspirations, that energy is injected in the 6th house, and those aspirations and goals can be connected with health and fitness, which it was at the time until I suffered irrevocable damage to my arms and I have extensive nerve damage now to it, and I can't work out anymore. But I used to be basically a workout fanatic, and I also had worked in a health food store for about 3 years, so I think maybe it might have had something to do with the ruler of the 11th house posited in my 6th house. Now, it's also important to look at transits and progressions that occur with the 11th house, as this could signify greater activity in matters pertaining to your 11th house. For example, let's say that your 11th house is Pisces natally, and by progression it goes to Aries. Well, this could be someone that, but natally, that might be somewhat passive and show a lot of compassion in matters connected with their friends. And Pisces, being a passive sign, may not always make that stand against friends and acquaintances when they need to, or speak up. But if by progression, when it goes to Aries, this person might be a lot more outspoken and aggressive in matters pertaining to their friends and acquaintances, and things connected with goals and aspirations as well. So those are some things to look at. And let's say, for example, by transit, you have a planet that transits the 11th house, and let's say, for example, that Jupiter transits your 11th house. Well, this could indicate that perhaps your aspirations and goals at this time might be tied in perhaps to long distance traveling, maybe something connected with religion. And it could also be a fortuitous period perhaps for matters connected with the 11th house, such as the stepchildren, or friends, your acquaintances, your goals, aspirations. It might be a goal or aspiration that is attained and might pay big dividends during that period that Jupiter is inhabiting the 11th house. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the 11th house in astrology. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about having Aries on the 11th house cusp in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.